autophagy.
Autophagy. Have to first know how to pronounce it, right?
I know, right?
It's definitely not something that you hear of every day, or that it's a regularly spoken terminology, I don't think. It was certainly new to me. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah, and it's really interesting because it's like, you know, even though I've been hearing about just like detoxing and things like that through Isagenix and like cellular cleanse and whatnot, autophagy was like an absolutely new terminology for me that I think I just learned just this last year, or maybe even the
Oh,
last
really?
few months. Yeah, I didn't realize that, you know, what I've been doing is that. So I'm really new to this, and I've been learning more about it personally, just because of like, you know, the journey that I went through with my brain tumor and whatnot, and the more and more studies that are being done out there, they're actually saying how amazing intermittent fasting is for our, you know, and fasting really is for all kinds of reasons. And one of them is specifically around cancer and how it can actually, you know, make a huge difference and have pretty much our cells eat, or I don't know, that's how I picture it, eat the cancer cells, or I don't know, fight them off, however it actually works scientifically. I don't know. So.
Well, it's part of that breakdown process. So when your cells are starved and they're not actually having the nutrition that we put into it through normal ingestion of food, then they go to work to kill off or die off the bad parts, the things that are destroyed, that aren't working, or that aren't helpful for the body. So it's a very productive, a very effective way for the body to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to rebuild itself. And so a lot of detoxing and cellular cleansing, ultimately, in addition to things like weight loss and blood sugar regulation and increased energy and less fatigue and better clarity and some other really, really positive things that come out of it, is this growth in terms of brain and heart health and the impact on the body, really kind of having a healthy aging experience, because it's letting go of that the negative, the bad stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, and I'll show this image as well, but actually, you know what, let me do that. Let me share it real quick, because I think this is a powerful image. I shared on my story. I don't know who all actually saw it that's watching, so I'm going to turn the live this way. But you can see the screen. Yes, Rach?
Yeah, is there any chance you can make it slightly bigger? Or is that as big as it
let me
goes?
see. How's that?
That's
Is
good.
that better? Okay.
Yep.
Let me go like this. So I love this. I mean, I found a few different ones, but this one I just felt like it was just quick and easy, and it just makes sense, right? Like the Cliff Notes version, if anybody knows what those are. But it's just like, yeah, when we're feeding, then that's what's happening. You know, when we're digesting and eating food, then yeah, so cells grow, right? Cells are going to divide, engage, and they're going to do their natural functions. Whereas autophagy, which I think it's at 16 hours of, right? Isn't it? 16,
I
think it's
believe at 16
fasting.
is when it starts to have the benefits of
Yeah,
autophagy.
and so that's when it begins. So autophagy begins when, at that point, we haven't been giving our body the food that we're always giving our body, and then the growth ceases in these cells, and instead it starts to focus on this internal cleaning, as this says, right? And I love this because it's like it's getting rid of that cellular junk, which is what you just talked about, right? So for me, I'm just like, I love, you know, I'm just gonna stop this now. But I loved that image because it really shows, you know, to an extent of how it actually works in a very simple human way of understanding it. And it just makes sense because I like think about back in the day, caveman times, they didn't eat every single day, 3-4 meals a day, right? So they actually gave their bodies a break. To be able
we
to
talk about that all of the time. Yeah, the importance of just stopping digestion, because all that energy and all that work that it takes to digest your food and to absorb the nutrients, when you're not doing that, there's such a benefit that goes then towards the energy to the detoxifying process. And like you're saying, the cleaning of the cellular junk, all that stuff that we just don't need anymore, and eliminating the toxins and rebuilding healthier, stronger cells that help us to thrive. And when you looked at, you know, the things at the top of that screenshot that you had in terms of brain health and heart health and cancer protection or fighting off cancer. And I think of healthy aging, right? Which is why so many people in Isagenix, we joke all the time, it looks like they're getting younger as the years go by, but it really, I think, has so much to do, because I know you and I are among many that every single week, basically, we have a cleanse day, and it's this chance really to shed all of that unnecessary trash in our body and get rid of it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, what I love is just having it be an intermittent fast. It's actually supported though. So it's not like you're not having anything at all throughout the day, which is one of the main reasons people actually get scared, right? They get scared to do these fasts or intermittent fasting because they're like, all I'm going to be having is water. Like, I can't do that. And there's people that do dry fasting even, my spiritual, mentor guy that I work with, he'll all of a sudden do like several days of dry fasting. I'm like, yeah, I'm not there yet, and I, one day I wouldn't mind doing, because I know that even that is just great for the body to just give it a rest. So it just recycles whatever it needs to, and it really just cleans out the body. In the meantime, we just do the supportive version, which you still do have minimal, nutrients, I guess. I mean, it's actual food. Like, some of it is delicious, like chocolate and peanut butter. Like these peanut butter protein balls that I'm like obsessed with, which allows you to still be able to, to some extent have, something to curb your cravings and hunger, and still stay in detox mode, right?
Right. Not enough to stimulate digestion and to put all that energy into it so that you are able to stay within the detoxing realm and keep the energy focused on these things that we're talking about, like the autophagy, but that your blood sugar is stabilized, that you're not having, dips in your blood sugar and cravings and wanting to eat your hand off and, headaches and other things. So it makes it for the general person to have a very, very successful and positive experience around a cleanse day. And I'm cleansing today. I don't know if you are.
No, I committed that I'm going to start doing 2-day cleanses starting this week. Nice. So tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be my two, so that's the other part of it, right? So when we do, and I don't have I have it on my phone somewhere, but there's like this whole timeline of like what happens at the different hours of intermittent fasting and when autophagy starts to kick in. I can post that later at some point on my story and, share it so you can do the same. But what I love is just like, yes, at 16 hours is when it starts, but really after the 24 hours, it goes up to 300% or something crazy. Maybe it's after 48 hours. Anyhow, don't quote me on that. I have the timeline. The point is though, you get into this serious, massive like autophagy where your cells just completely get cleaned out. And then you have amazing energies and you're like, what the heck? I didn't have anything to eat yet. I feel so energized.
I love it.
Love it. Right? It's amazing. It's amazing how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be doing day 2 with you tomorrow.
Nice.
Start day 1. So
so speaking of the cleanse though, I know you're more familiar with the actual, the herbs and minerals and all that's in there. Would you like to share some of that in there? Because I know the Cleanse for Life is super powerful in what it contains, and it helps support and helps the detoxification process. So would you mind sharing a little bit around that?
Yeah, well, sort of. Believe it or not, I don't know all the ins and outs of what's in it. I can try to quickly pull it up while we're talking, but what I do know, what I can speak to, because it's about 60 different botanicals and herbs and minerals that are working, but it's basically a bunch of superfoods, natural herbs, antioxidant botanicals that really go to work to do what your body is already doing in terms of filtering out toxins through your liver and your kidneys. And so it's just going to support that natural detoxification process. And what I like to think about it more or less is that it's maybe like a traffic controller. If things get jammed up, if you have like an issue with traffic because of an accident and you get a cop out and he's going to say, go this way and you go this way and this people, it's going to help that flow so that it unclogs the system, right? So the Cleanse for Life and the benefits that it provides to the body is really just to expedite the natural detoxification system that's happening within our bodies at any given day. But now being overloaded with so much toxicity in our environment, we just can't keep up anymore to the demands. And the normal process that would happen to our liver and to our kidneys, just it's getting bogged down and it's basically getting clogged. So just like we change the air filter in our car or in our house, in our furnace, or change the coffee filter out of the coffee grinds every morning, you know, and clean out the coffee grinds. I just find that the Cleanse for Life botanicals and herbs that are putting into our body on cleanse days is that reset, that filtering out that aids the body in doing what it's already doing, but at an expedited rate.
I like, and it's like shower on the inside. That's how I always see it. Like shower for my cells.
Yes, exactly. I'm pulling it up right now, just a little bit of idea of what's in it. We've got Siberian ginseng.
You can share your screen too. I don't know if it's too, if it's not easy to read, then don't worry about it.
It's small.
Okay. I plan to put the details of like some of the botanicals and minerals when I post the actual IGTV video, which will, be later on this week at some point as well.
Okay.
For those that are interested. Otherwise, you can always reach out to us and, let us know if, you're interested in learning more about it, and we can always send you a link. I absolutely love it. I know it's made a huge difference for me ever since I did chemotherapy, and I continue to do it because I feel like at least, as much as I eat organic and organic food and whatnot, I don't always, but it gives me a peace of mind that, hey, at least I can get the toxicity, impurities, and everything else. And that's not even including like the environment and whatever else, that's out there.
Right. And you were exposed to all the toxicity, obviously, through the chemo therapy that you went through. And for those of you who don't know my background, my experience with something called breast implant illness and having implants made of silicone and 50 plus different chemicals for almost 7 years, I feel like a lot of what I've done and why I've really benefited from cleansing specifically for myself has to do with the eliminating of all those extra built up toxins that were in my body as well. And it just is, like you said, such a incredible experience to feel when your body is clean kind of from the inside out, and you have that shower from the inside out, you absolutely feel the difference. It's clear.
Yeah, it's like, and then it's like so cool to see just with that, fat just melts away. Unnecessary fat.
Completely. Yeah. With ease, right? Rather than having to work so hard and diet and calorie count and then be in the gym for 15 hours a week or whatever it may be. Now your body actually goes to work and it functions the way that it should function without any undue added necessary stress and effort.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. So yay, autophagy and cleansing and intermittent fasting and all the discoveries with it. They're doing so much more scientific studies around what a, huge difference it makes. As well. Like, I know my naturopath doctor actually recommended for me to do intermittent fast.
Oh yeah, and there's an excellent TED Talk out there on intermittent fasting and the benefits in terms of brain health and cognitive decline and things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementias of other sorts. It's so beyond, I think a lot of times this term intermittent fasting gets thrown around kind of loosely, or it's focused primarily on weight loss, and weight loss is a great thing, but it expands so much farther than that for sure.
Yeah,
and looking at the longevity of being able to live an optimal life with your highest level of function for as long as possible is really where it's at long term.
Yeah. Yay. So yes, awesome. This is awesome. I always learn myself when I do these. So and it's fun. So hey, thank you everyone that joined. I actually, you know what? I didn't even look to see if anybody on Facebook has any questions or comments. And same with Instagram. If anybody has any comments or anything, please let us know.
Yeah, we can always either answer them in the comments of the thread, or we could maybe put it on as a future topic if there are specific things people want to hear about or talk about. Sure.
Yeah, shame. Otherwise, thank you for joining and have a great rest of your Monday.
Bye.